Alright, welcome to round one. We won the die roll. We are on the play. We're going to keep this. It only really has Nyx Infusion that it can do early, but that's fine. We should be able to draw into some of our early game, hopefully, or lands to be able to cast our later spells. So this and this should buy us some time, so we won't mulligan this. It's hard not to keep lands and spells when this deck just wants lands and spells. Start off with Swamp just in case we get Farika's Cure off the top. That's also a very good draw. That means we now have two ways of stalling early. Especially since that is a enchantment creature. I think I'm happy letting that live for now. We'll see what he plays. This is an instant, so it can kill anything we really want to. We'll take two here. If he misses a land drop, then we'll just kill it. Just remove the amount of pressure that he has. Servant of Timuret. Well, that is definitely dying. We'll have to deal with this 2-1 later, because we cannot allow a Servant of Timuret to be alive. That's fine. I think because I'm running the risk of not hitting a land next turn, it's better just to play the River Trawler now. We probably don't trade. We'll wait for him to play something else, and then we can Nyx Infusion that. If it's a ground creature, that likely brings it down to enough power that we can just bounce off it with the Ordunos River Trawler. That should buy us enough time so that we can hit our 5th land drop. Airy Worshipper as well, that's excellent for us. If we don't hit land here, which we do, so the option here is whether we play Nessian Asp, get it bounced and have this hit us, or we Nyx Infusion and pass. We just play this. If we hit a land, even if this gets bounced, if we hit a land, we are then able to Spiteful Blow it before it gets a chance to untap. There's a possibility that attacking there was correct. Ooh, Pins to the Earth, that's really good. There's a possibility that attacking there would have been correct, but that would have left us 2 for 1 if he blocks. Alright, this Pin to the Earth is going to be annoying. We're going to end up with a 2-9. It's quite an amazing stat line. This deck would have greatly benefited from, say, a Doomwake Giant first pick rather than the Nyx Weaver, but I'm happy with the Nyx Weaver first pick. Just recursion in sets where graveyards don't matter is so much more powerful because not everyone is doing it. If you're the guy doing that, then it becomes even better. So I could just trade off the River Trawler here. I think I want to do that. I just want to lower the amount of pressure I'm taking at this point. Land? Okay, land is great. We can just kill this and kill his untapped island. This means that, like, casting this card on curve is fantastic, especially when you're this kind of deck. It just does so much work. Because if I hit 7 mana now, I then have a fantastic play. That is not an enchantment creature, is it? No, it is not. Good. Right, we'll kill that off. Alright, so we hit the land, but we just want to kill this. Is that true? There's a chance that instead we can either Monstrify our Asp or play out Humbler, because we can let this hit us for 2. That's fine. There's a chance that if he has Bestow, it's just another one of these. But if it's, say, if it's a Thassa's Emissary and he's hit his land, is that worse? We'd be behind on the clock and on cards. Do I just want to kill it? Intimidate is powerful. That's interesting. I mean, I have outs for drawing black creatures and being able to block it, so I'm actually going to cast the Humbler here. and just pass the turn. I don't need to show him the fact that I've got... Alright, now, if this is bestow, then it's a problem for us, potentially. It's got double intimidate. Okay. I take 4. So I can shrink it again, and then play this. That's great. So let's do that. It doesn't kill it, but it does mean that we can race effectively. His first zombie or two won't be able to get through, especially if he's actually playing it, which he would. He's only got 1 card in hand, so that's reasonable. But we do now have 2 very large monsters and something that's still going to block. Oh, Guild! That card! So good. Alright, we take 2, that's fine. Alright, well, we're just going to hit for a mighty 5. And hope that we don't just get overrun. Because he's out of cards, we're out of cards, both playing off the top of our deck. But we hopefully have a decent enough game plan. It would help if we didn't keep drawing land, though. Yeah, he just starts chumping now. That's reasonable. Okay, I could really do with Unravel the Ether as well. That would be great. Get rid of that Cavern Lampad and just stop the engine altogether. Like, I don't really mind about my Nessian Asp being pinned to the earth. That's fine, because he's still only hitting us for 2 a turn. But Unravel the Ether would be such a good draw here. That's not, but it does block, so that's pretty good. Right, so we do the prescribed attack, he does the prescribed block. And then we play this black 1/3 and hope that that stops the assault. There is no chance that he just holds back and blocks our Ravenous Lucrocota with everything, which is also fine. There is another chance that he has a bounce spell and just kills us. This is also a possibility. I guess he doesn't kill us this turn, he'd have to hold it for next turn. Sweet. Okay. So I'm happy trading my Lucrocota with... He'd have to block with everything, so he'd lose 3 of his creatures, though he would still have a Cavern Lampad after that. It might... I'm fine with that, because I do have this Freaka's Chosen to follow up with, so I will just attack. It's tempting also to attack with a Nessian Asp, since if he wants to block this, he then can't also block this to kill it. So I think I will do that. The 2 damage could be relevant. I feel he has to go for the multi-block. That's interesting. I'm intrigued that he didn't do that. At any point he could have the Sea God's Revenge that was going around the table, so that's also a concern. Alright. That indicates to me a trick. I'm still just going to block with this. This is still okay, even if he does have the trick. Necrobite, sure, that's fine. I'd rather lose my thing that doesn't have Death Touch. Alright, well, there was my Font of Return. There was 3 spells milled by us. What did he mill? A Lash and 2 lands. Ugh. Alright, well, I'm just going to get in again. Unfortunately, at this point, he can attack, and then he's got a 2 power. I have to trade off, because that is just going to kill me. Unfortunately, the Cavern Lampad is also going to kill me. Alright, well, we'll block. And we'll trade, I imagine. Yep. Okay. That is not exactly the spell I wanted to draw. There are much better things than a pseudo land in that spot. I'm going to cast it just so I can do some minor amount of deck thinning, but yeah, milling 3 spells off of our thing was not great, especially when one of them was a Font of Return. That would have been excellent to draw. I'm not sure he wins this race. We go to 4, he blocks for a turn, we go to 2. He's drawing another creature. Oh, and it's the best creature in the format, obviously it is. Alright, let's put this into play. Oh, come on, deck. Alright, so he blocks with Rotted Hulk. Presumably. Yep. This has been a very slow death, which is it's a decent matchup for us then, because we do get to we do get the opportunity to run out our larger threats. It means we can probably take out the fated guy, the returned thingy. All right, now we're just dead. So drew too many lands, and we're drawing more before we were hitting the unravel. So we can probably take out the Return Reveler. We definitely want this Font of Return. That's just going to be excellent. We can take out Return Reveler and bring in Dark Betrayal because he's playing a lot of black creatures. I don't think we change anything else. I think this is fine. There's nothing else I really want in my sideboard to deal with this. We're particularly weak to his Intimidate creatures because we do not have a lot of... We have 1 black creature? Two black creatures that can block his Intimidate. So I think the ideal is to win those races, possibly bring in Eye Gouge. That can't be right, I feel. No, this is fine. We can run with this. Just hopefully make the late game and run him over with bigger threats. It would help if we hadn't shown him the fact that we've got Annihilate in our deck. There's not a lot he can do about it, but if he's got counter spells, then he can now hold them up. Especially Annul, for instance, which we just kind of have to run into. Unravel the Ether should be really good. If we drew it at any point during that game, we were going to win. Especially before the before we had to make the trades that we did. Because we were edicting him. We were forcing him to sacrifice a creature every single turn to the Crocota, because we were going to kill him with that. Yeah, we'll play first. And this hand is fine. Again, lots of early removal, and we've got an engine piece, so that's good. I'm going to play Farika's Cure first. Well, I'm going to play Swamp first, so that if I need to play Farika's Cure, I can. I don't anticipate we need to, but it's always worth bearing in mind. Yeah, that was the only 1-drop he was likely to have, and I can just trade that with my Satyr Wayfinder, so... Well, if he wants to attack. Throwing Nyx Weaver in the bin, sure. I'll take the forest. Oh, I can't even kill the starfish, that's not good. Well, I can kill the starfish, actually, and I'm going to. He's definitely not blocking with the... He's not blocking at all, okay. That makes sense. The starfish is a little bit valuable. I'll just pass the turn here. These things are going to be... That's interesting. I wouldn't do that there. I don't think there's any... Unless he was desperately trying to find... Ugh, really? Guardians of Meletis? Alright. That's going to be very difficult for me to get through with my 5-power guys. Alright, I'm just going to run out Font here, I think. and then pass the turn back. I'm not actually sure how I deal with this Guardians of Miletus. It might be that I have to unravel the ether on it. Servant of Timuret. Well, that's dying. Sorry to say, but that is definitely dying. I can't let him have that 3 toughness guy. So I can wayfind here to ensure I hit my next mana and fill the bin a little bit more for Font of Return, which I'm very happy doing. It was a pretty good draw, that one. Oh, that is some stuff. That is gas. I'm really happy to see all of those. Don't need to do anything else here, so again, I will pass. This Font of Return is going to be excellent. Currently we're returning Nyx Weaver, Golden Hydox, and Nessian Game Warden, none of which on their own get through Guardians of Miletus, but we put so much powerful stuff out that we are going to force him to lose his team. Alright. Since my plan is to crack this end of turn, I think I just want to play Karametra's Favour and pass. Either that or I don't cast anything, so I keep up Freaker's Cure, which I actually prefer. So I'm just going to... I could attack with both. Attacking with both seems fine. It means I get in a point of damage. Yeah, we'll just attack with both, that's fine. Given what I've got in board, he's never blocking, so we can get in a point. See, this is why I don't understand why he's tapping the Starfish. Maybe he's de-incentivizing himself to block. Oh, he now actually went past his upkeep. Okay. Alright, now that comes in. I probably don't want to take the 2, but he's got so many other things that are more relevant for me to Pharika's Cure that I'd rather do that. Right, so we're getting back Game Warden, Golden Hydox, and Nyx Weaver, and paying this mana. Just casually draw 3 cards. No, maybe it is correct just to Pharika's Cure. At this point, I'm at the point where the Nyx Weaver can block whatever he plays, and I'd rather... Oh, Unravel the Ether was a really good draw. Target creature must be blocked. So if I had a Death Touch creature, maybe I should have gotten back Pharika's Chosen against his 0 power. Yeah, I should have gotten back Pharika's Chosen against his 0 power team. Would have been very good. So yeah, I'm going to play Karametra's Favour and play Nessian Game Warden. That will cantrip me very nicely. Alright, look at the top 3. Find nothing. Oh dear. Alright. Well, occasionally it will miss, I guess. We don't have the greatest number of creatures in our deck. So maybe it's not so surprising that that's going to miss. That is an intimidating Starfish, sure. I'm not sure what it accomplishes to do that, but okay. Whatever. Alright, I'm just going to attack for 4 here. I can just play Nessian Asp and... I mean, if he blocks with the Starfish instead, then I can just Unravel the Ether to kill it, but I'm sure he'll block the Guardians. And now I can... I think I just run out Asp, and then I've got Unravel the Ether open. Like, he has done very little all game, so hopefully just my plan of playing a bunch of big creatures is going to do enough. I don't want to use my removal on creatures that don't matter. Well, that is flying and intimidating. If he attacks with it, I am snap blocking. Just saying. So he's got 4 mana open. So I'm actually just going to do this now. I don't want to do this, but it means that I get a massive attack in, because this cannot block now. I just attack with the 3 things that I want to attack with, and 9 him. Yeah, he can't block. So here, I think I want to run out an enchantment creature in case he has Extinguish All Hope. So it's just going to be Humbler of Mortals, because it's slightly more powerful, and I'm not holding up mana for anything. So my opponent has done very little all game, and he's been filtering, sure, but it's not been very terrifying. Well, that went on top, so let's see what this is. Well, that's the Sudama. I'm just going to kill that. I'm going to kill that and give my team trample. Like, that's gotta be... What could he have? Like, what actually kills me for 2 black and a blue? Like a bounce spell? But the bounce spells aren't even very good here, so I'm just going to do this. Give my team trample, and then probably win. And if not, I can't see how he's not under so much pressure that he doesn't just lose here. I can attack with this as well, because it's not actually doing anything. Yeah. That was odd. I mean, Starfish is scary, but not when you don't do anything with it. Okay. That seemed to work. He seemed to bring in more threats that were resistant against Farika's Cure, but they didn't really do anything. So I'm actually happy enough that I just want to run this again. There's potential for Siren Song Lyre to come in, because he's so slow. It might be that he's trying to create just one big threat, and if I can shut that down with a Siren Song Lyre, then that's just fantastic. In terms of what I cut for that, though, I'm not entirely sure. It might even be Whip of Erebos, because if he's got, say, if he's got the 0/6 out, the Whip of Erebos isn't actually doing anything other than stopping me losing the game. Except if I get milled, then I lose the game. Let's see. I don't know. I think this is probably fine as it is. It's got the right... I probably don't need Font of Fertility, so maybe Siren Song Lyre comes in instead of that. I'm not having any trouble getting up to the late game, and he's not pressuring me early enough that I need to ramp there quickly. So I think actually I'll take out Font of Fertility and put in Siren Song Lyre, see how that goes. This is a mulligan. If one of these were a swamp, I would keep it, but I can't keep that hand. This is not. Oh, did he F6? Yep, he F6. Whoops. That's not good for him. Generally I F6. When I'm on the draw, generally I F6 before I've even taken my mulligan decision. If my opponent F6s, then it's so bad for them. I'm sorry for my sniffles, by the way. I've had a cold for the past sort of week or so, actually. Taking paracetamol for it, but it's not amazing. I think it's getting better, but still suffering from sore throat and things. My opponent has now gone into the tank on our upkeep. Let's check I'm still connected. I am. And lost connection to the game. Huh. Well, I mean, could be that he just DC'd, in which case that's very unfortunate that it also F6'd him. If that's the case, then I am going to um, advise him to reimburse because uh, there's no reason for him not to reimburse. If he's lost connection and the game has decided to F6 him, then he's going to lose on the basis of that. So he should definitely get his entry fee back. Generally, though, when it tells you they've lost connection, that's the point at which they're trying to log back in, and they generally log back in immediately. It doesn't look like he's doing that. I'm going to pause this briefly because I think he's probably decided to play something else. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So our opponent has indeed lost the game. I guess. Yeah, I find you should just accept the mistake that's been made. Your opponent has mulled to 6, like that's already not great. Um, he definitely wasn't just going to lose. So we'll close this. I'm going to just quickly find the deck and do some sort of ruminating on sideboarding against the aggressive deck, because that's kinda the problem for this deck. It needs to get to its late game. Um, no, that is not the deck I wanted. This deck was sweet, but that's not the deck I wanted, and that's from quite a while ago. This will be it. Alright, so, like, cards that can come in against the aggressive deck are Eye Gouge just for early removal, Return Phalanx, possibly even Satyr Hedonist. Siren Song, Pillar of War are also worth considering. Snake of the Golden Grove has to come in. It probably gets cut. The things that come out are probably Golden Hide Ox, because this will still die to a 5-drop removal spell, for instance, Rage of Perforos, which is perfectly playable. Um, Possibly Karametra's Acolyte, because it doesn't do enough for the mana cost. So just lower our curve and make the late game about these 3 cards, because we can always find these. The thing is, we don't have many threats, but we will find them with our self mill plan. So we just need to find one of them to hold the ground, and then when we find 2 of them, we probably win the game. So that's going to be the sideboarding plan. But I will end this now and see you in round 2.